Okay, welcome back to Season of Dreams, PBTA, modern supernatural / otherworld fantasy game. X cards on the table as usual. Now, continuing the characters, which is good. We don't have to go through character creation stuff. Now, what's it doing? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to post it, but that's all right. I can still review them. So, you're in the gloom. You're out in the wilderness. You had a... Oh, everyone can see and hear each other. We don't have any tech problems, do we? No, all good. Okay. So you're in the gloom. You're out in the wilderness. You're heading towards a fen, aka moorland. You had a shared dream about a bunch of ravens swirling around, and there were flashes of an image of a shining silver torque. That's TORC in a cave. And you woke up on the ground in the gloom. And you know, if you find this silver torque, you'll get status among the Hallowed 9 faction. Because it's a sacred item of Morrigan, obviously. Side note, there are 3 moons in the gloom. The regular one from Earth, it's 10 times closer, known as Aguillo. There's a green one called Blanor and a purple one called Aros. Now, let's do start of session moves. Cole, gear up. Roll plus expertise, please.
Okay. My expertise is a 2. So I get a 9.
So you've got one thing handy, that you've got some hands on some gear that is sought out by others. It could be, you know.
I mean, you know, I said it last time, but I'll do it this time. It is a sword.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah, just because that's... no, axe and sword is already an option, isn't it? I guess. And I'm taking a handgun. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. It is a magical stone. Can I say that of some sort? Like a...
But what does it do? Oh, you don't know yet.
It heals people. Let's say that.
Oh.
Healing stone.
Others want it. There's reasons. Okay. Might come in handy later. Okay. Bram, your start of session move is listener. You hear whispers on the wind about certain types of creatures. Roll plus charm.
Okay, charm is 0 now. Reroll selected. 11 became 8. Sorry, 11 became 6. I take it back.
Sweet. That in a minute.
Do I get to mark experience for that then?
Yep. Yep. Okay. I'm not going to have something bad happen immediately. I'll stash that for later.
I mean, what can go wrong when you're looking in a cupboard for something useful?
Yeah. You've heard the fen has been very quiet lately.
Which probably means there's lots going on in it, but I'll take your word for
it. I remember I ran a game and they did, was it Investigator Mystery or something, and Monster of the Week, and they're trying to figure out how do you defeat a werewolf, and they rolled a 4. I laughingly told them that they've got low endurance and they've just got to wear it out, get it to chase them for a while. And I had to role play that, but I couldn't stop laughing when I told them. So to make sure it chased them, they covered themselves in pig's blood. Oh dear. The joys of jamming. Okay, and Fungo. Roll plus wits.
So this is +1. 11.
Okay, you've heard some of the strong vice of virtues in the area. So you've got... I don't know, maybe it's some of patience. Maybe someone's been like meditating or studying or practicing or something out in the fen for years.
Let's go for the great Calwop is the name he goes by. The great
And
Calwop.
what are they doing out here?
They're meditating. You told me that.
Oh, well, I mean, they could be practicing martial arts. They could be painting. I don't know.
I think he was once of noble blood, but his bride to be was murdered by an unknown agent, and he seeks solace in the swamp, trying to recontact his dead betrothed bride.
We're bordering on Wuthering Heights there.
That's up north. I refuse to believe that.
Oh dear. I remember reading it thinking, none of these people are nice people. They're all bloody miserable.
Maybe I should read it.
Okay. So you're travelling across the fen. All right. This is a play test, so we're going to test out some of the rules here. Outdoor adventuring. We need someone to roll for lookout and someone to be your guide.
Any indication of what, which?
Well, lookout is
attributes
wits.
work for?
Yeah, lookout is wits and guide is expertise.
I'll be guide.
But you could aim for failure if you want.
I'll volunteer for
I
neither
shall
of
be
those,
the
thank you.
observer then.
Nice. So if I roll plus expertise, is that right?
Yep.
Moves. Is it in the moves?
No.
No. No. Is this in the PDF, isn't it? I'll track that down in a minute. I'll just roll it for now. That is a 10.
All right. You're on course. Whoever dreams have manifested something weird here. What is it?
It is a faceless head teacher, like a school teacher that has no face. A nightmare of mine from when I was younger. Or a nightmare, you know what? A pleasant dream, because I could just never remember the faces of my childhood teachers, but they were always very reassuring. Let's make it a nice one rather than a horrific one.
Fair enough.
Since it was a 10 plus.
They're handing out some fruit. You seem to have struggle sort of focusing on what their faces look like, but they have the demeanor and the dress of teachers. And so you sort of just stop for lunch, get some fruit from some teachers that seem to have manifested somehow.
Yeah, they're handing out packed lunches. Like little, you've got your wrapped jam sandwich and an apple in there and a club.
That's very lockdown as far as I can tell.
Mm.
All right, now Fungo is going to be the guide.
Should be a Panda Pop and Seabrooks crisps.
All right, so roll plus wits, please, Fungo.
Okay, that's +1.
Yep. Mate.
I rolled a 3 and a 2. +1, that is 6.
2 sixes, excellent. I mean, that's a shame. All right. Well, in that case, What do we got? Oops, I got the wrong thing up. Oh, one of your recurring nightmares manifests here. What is it? Oh, and mark experience, of course.
Oh, a recurring nightmare.
Yeah, when a fun goes.
But I'm being chased by very thin people. Like the Slender Man, but thin people. Don't like thin people.
I will say there's a bit of a sort of hillside valley, and it's a misty morning, and these people are sort of coming out of the mist, chasing the three of you.
It's the thin people! Run! Run!
All right. Fungo's legging it. Are Cole and Bram going to fight, or try and talk, or run with him, or?
I will take to the air.
Bye, assholes.
It's misty. They won't see you after about 10 foot.
Yeah, flying in the mist. I run after Fungo, which I can't imagine is a very difficult task.
Okay.
Quick! Come with me, Cole. I'll hide us. And I will quickly dig an underground burrow. Just big enough for myself and Cole. Like a bothy, but underground.
I do not know what Bobby is.
I haven't heard that one before, no.
A bothy is it's like a plastic bag that you crawl into when you're out sort of walking.
Yeah.
I know we're all role players here, and the chance of role players getting out into the great outdoors is slim, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So
usually
when
make a tent.
when you're climbing up a mountain and you want to take a rest and it's really blowing a hoolie, you tend to get into a bothy.
Okay.
When it's blowing a hoolie, you get into a bobby, and then you have a flip back flamingo. And yeah, you're making these stuff up, Paul.
Okay. So this sounds like
It sounds like I've got a inbuilt character skill called dig.
it's a physical task. So see how you get digging, and because it's kind of digging and hiding. So
okay, it sounds like Might digging a hole.
Rob, yeah, okay, we'll go Might.
Excellent. I knew we were thinking on the same page there, Blake. Shamalama ding dong. I rolled a 5 and a 6 plus 2. That's a lot. 13 in my book, which is 3 more than I've got fingers.
Are you sure?
I do come from Norfolk, but no, it is still 10. And there is a gap between them.
Character achieves their action, so yes, that's all fine. However, I have 2 6 minuses I can use at some point.
Quick, Cole. Getting the possibly collapsing burrow.
I hop straight in there after him.
Do we have any of those jam sandwiches left?
Here, you can have mine.
Excellent. I sort of see some sort of like hanging tree roots or roots, sort of, dripping with water in this because it's misty, so it's going to be quite wet. So yeah, an otter man eating a jam sandwich, sat with a human next to me. I even put my arm around him, say, "Don't worry, mate, you can keep warm next to me."
I snuggle into the Fungo.
Okay. So the mist will, probably clear after half an hour. The slender men have buggered off. They've done that a bit too. Bram, are you just going to stay up, or are you going to sort of hunt for food while you're up there, or?
Do I need food at this point? Because if I don't, I'm just going to circle listening.
Oh, okay. Like an AWACS. Bing, bing. All right. You're
Actually, I do have a motion tracker. on my phone at the
He
minute.
does have a motion tracker on his phone.
Ah, dear. No, I won't do that yet. As the mist clears, you can see some penguins waddle through the valley. Oddly enough, they smell of mint.
A mint penguin.
So I'll throw that in. All right. So you land to meet up with the others, I guess.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's safe up there.
Safe
Clear as far as the eye can see.
Safe
Let's
in the
walk
hole
down
as
here.
far as my eye could see, which was to the end of the hole.
Yeah, we can't stay in a hole all day, Fungo. We should probably move on.
True. If we're hungry, I could go forage some food.
I mean, you know, we had jam sandwiches. I don't know how hungry you are. I know it's not quite chips, but
True. I just, maybe somebody fancied a mint penguin. I'm an otter. I reckon I could catch a mint penguin pretty quickly.
it's probably actual mint penguins in the gloom.
That's what I said. It's a mint flavored penguin.
Okay. You did see, looks like some activity. It would be southeast when you're flying around Bram.
Was that the direction that the Slender Men ran from or to?
They kind of disappeared in the mist. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
So what did I see to the southeast?
Looks like there's gathering of. There's quite a few. Fair bit of movement. It's hard to see more than that. There is the odd tree and bush and stuff, so it's hard to see too far. But yeah, there was movement over that way.
I was just curious. I chose as a piece of equipment a useful map. Now we're looking, or we've been. The dream was around a talk in a cave. Now that usually means mountains to me. So I'm just curious as I kind of look at the map and the direction we've been heading and southeast.
Yeah, there's hills and valleys in the fen.
Okay.
Yeah, you did get the impression it is over that way. But I mean, over that way is kind of a 100-kilometer square area.
Yeah, fair enough. So I suppose that there's no caves marked on this map, are there?
There's some a bit closer to the coast.
But not in the direction we're heading right now. Or not before
No, not before that bit.
Okay. Well, look, I suggest we head towards this disturbance in the mists.
I will agree. And I will tell you all the story of the great Calwop, who is known to frequent the fen.
Good.
Okay.
It may be him.
And so we trudge on, I guess.
Yep.
I can't help feeling that it may be easier for me to fly than it is for me to walk. I've got this view of having relatively short legs and big wings.
You can, but flying burns up a lot of energy, so you're going to eat more too.
Okay, well, as long as my short legs don't slow us down. I mean, I can't have much shorter legs than an otter, can I?
No.
Yeah, but mine are sturdy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the pictures we've got. I think my legs are longer than the otters, actually, so no problem. No, it's okay.
Okay, you're traveling down the valley towards the gathering of movement. You can hear the sound of horsemen approaching. Not people on horseback, horses at the very least.
Which direction?
They're coming from the north.
So they're behind us. What's the terrain like, or is it still kind of dense?
It's still kind of scrub and hills, but you can take cover if you want to hide or whatever. Or
I would suggest hitting cover.
Sure. I mean, why not? I will set up in by the side of the road with my, I guess, my handgun. I think ready.
And I will leap into the air because there's better cover up there than down here.
Okay.
I will also pull off the road and hide in the undergrowth.
All right. So 3 people on horseback come up. They've got long coats. All 3 of them seem to be carrying their own heads. Their horses snort as their owners look around the area.
Hang on a second. Did you say carrying their own heads?
Yes.
Okay. What do we? Does the idea, you know, as I kind of see these outlines passing below me through the mist, is do we know, you know, where the headless horsemen fit on the spectrum of people you would want to meet?
Pretty low.
Then I'll just spiral up a little ways.
Oh dear. Okay.
Headless horsemen, come on.
That's only 3 of them. Also known as duller hands. Okay. They sort of look in the direction of Fungo and Fungo, come forth. We wish to speak with you. And there's sort of a
Ooh, bad sign.
I like nudge Fungo with my elbow, like dig him in the elbow, in the ribs. Like, go on.
I will stand up and I will slowly approach the 3 mounted horsemen, trying to, yes, be prepared to flee at a moment's notice.
Okay. Yeah, we've come here to offer you a deal, an opportunity.
Okay, that sounds better than a deal.
Yeah, you notice as all these sort of regular noises of animals in the area is just completely silent. The animals are shitting themselves.
And what would this agreement be?
Bring the one known as Stoker here, and we will reward you with great treasure.
I think we would see Bram's ears, you know, angling down. Stoker.
I mean,
Can I ask what you want with Mr. Stoker?
Queen Neve wishes a chat with him. And
Has he committed an act of heresy?
That is not your concern. Just bring him and you will be rewarded by the Queen. Now, you would know the Queen Neve is head of the Sapphire Throne, which is like a monarchist faction. And there's a fair few fairies in it.
But Stoker he's to do with the church.
He's like, no, he's Earth, you know, occult investigations for England.
He's our human handler, isn't he?
Yeah, in England. So it's up to you how loyal you are to him or not.
Well, you know, yeah, I'll go and ask him. That sounds fair. I'll tell him that. Yeah, well, sounds reasonable. I can go and ask him. Yeah, let's see if he accepts. Where do you want us to? Where do you actually want to meet Stoker? Because the Gloom's a big place.
Bring him to the Gloom. We will know when he is here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, the 2 on the outside sort of grip their swords, look at the one in the middle. He's just sort of peering at you, and then they grab their reins and off they go.
Oi! It's an underpant checker, that one is. Where's Bram?
I'll circle down once I hear the horse's hooves. I'll circle down once I hear the horse's hooves have receded. And I say this to Fungo, did I hear them right? They want Stoker.
They want Stoker. That's your man.
I don't know about you two, but Stoker is attractively dense.
Aye. I'd be a bit worried about what Hedge would make of it, though. Sending a man off to meet some headless horsemen. What if he ends up the same way?
Well, that's my thinking. Is that currently we, as a handler, I can think of a lot worse prospects with a bit more about them.
That's on his Tinder profile, attractively dense.
And so
I mean, if he's really that dense, I'm sure losing his head won't be too much of an issue.
But you never know who they're going to give us instead.
Yeah. They might really like Stoker, Like, just because we don't like him doesn't mean that Hedge doesn't like him. And then we end up with Hedge on our tails whenever we get back to reality.
It's quandary, but he did promise great reward. They did.
He did.
Well, I mean, you can think about it. You're off in the middle of the wilderness now.
Mm.
I mean, maybe Stoker wants to come to the gloom. I don't know.
We'll ask him. We'll see. Next time we see him, we'll see if he fancies a
I mean,
trip.
he's only got to come to the gloom, and that they'll meet him.
Yeah.
So it might work out well for both sides.
Yeah.
You say Queen Eve wants you to visit. You're not lying.
Dinner with royalty.
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't need to know it was 3 headless horsemen that were the messengers.
I've been gaming since '89. I've never used a headless horseman in a game. So, I'll do that more often.
I think we should put it to Mr. Stoker.
Yeah, but Fungo, sometimes you go off on a tangent like this. At the minute, we've got this dream to deal with. I'm not used to dreaming the same as people like you.
True.
Normally I dream in sound pictures.
I normally
And
dream.
yet here I am having the same dream as you two. That's a bit odd.
It is, but it's the gloom. That's just the way it is.
Nice. Just the will of the goddesses of the 9.
So, okay, shall we take a vote then? Do we pursue this dream quest, or do we go back to Earth and have a conversation with Stoker?
Well, there's no sort of portal just over there or nothing. You've got to find a portal. So
that's what I'm thinking. So there's a step before that. Or, I mean, did you get the sense that they were in a hurry, Fungo? Or, there was a time limit on this?
Not really.
They didn't seem that sort of like insistent that it needs to happen toot sweet. So let's carry on looking around the mist. I mean, maybe the great Calwop can provide us some advice. Being a very patient man, he might be able to tell us. He may be able to read the omens and tell us if it is a good thing that we were visited by the 3 headless horsemen.
So do you know where this Calwop is?
He's somewhere in the fen. It can't be too hard to find. It's nice and flat. It's a fen.
we
need to find a portal anyway if we're going to go to Earth. So,
the fen is about 200 kilometers squared.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody know where the Great Calwop is, and he may probably know where a portal is.
Okay, I just feel I'm just wandering about a bit at the minute. Okay, we'll carry on heading southeast towards where I saw that activity.
Say that because I quite often feel like that most of my life. That I'm just wandering about a bit. Yeah, that's a good feeling. That is.
All right. Well, good team meeting, guys. Let's go. Cole strides off towards the southeast.
You're on course, so you got a feeling you're on course to where the dream was leading to, because Will rolled that roll and he succeeded.
Sorry, I understand. Okay.
It was the avoiding danger that you screwed up.
Okay, so I turn to Fungo and say, well, I don't normally like to follow a human, and off I go.
But then you look at Fungo for a long moment, look him up and down, and then you go, yeah, walk off.
It doesn't take a long moment to look Fungo up and down. It's a very short moment.
Poor Fungo. Alrighty. So there's lots of movement. There is quite a few creatures in a sort of intersection of two valleys. Would say there's, I don't know, 30. What do they look like? Bugger it, let's find a picture. That's a good one. Did it? See if they can do that one. All right. So imagine that was humanoid and about 7 foot tall, like that.
I hate bugs.
These are commonly known as Formori. They can shapeshift into human form. They are intelligent. They can talk and use tools and all of that, but they're generally fairly unpleasant and not considered citizens of the gloom by most folk.
Go through, go round. What do you say, Cole? You seem to know where you're going.
I mean, if we can go around them, I'd rather not deal with a 6 foot earwig any day of the week, frankly. You can go over them, of course.
Well,
but
I just didn't want to be rude.
Yes.
I think at this stage I will stride forward into this pile of beetle creatures and say, church business, coming through, come on, let me get to the front. Church business.
I'm having flashbacks to Wicker Man.
There's nothing to see here, nothing to eat, nothing going on. Let me to the front, church business.
What you can see is, there's 30 Fomori or earwig folk. They've got some prisoners in cages. The prisoners are Viveru, otter folk. We'll say there's 3. Bram is from the gloom, so you could see they're obviously setting up for a ritual of Tyrannus, the god of storms.
And is is Viveru sacrifice part of this?
Yes, it looks like it.
Sit?
Yeah, it looks like it in this particular one.
Because that sounds to me like church business, actually. But I don't hold with the sacrificing of sentient beings on the grounds that one day it might be me. So I'm going to look at Cole and say, I don't hold with this sacrificing business.
But you can still try and talk to them and try and buy the prisoners, or something. Doesn't just mean you have to attack. That's up to you.
Well,
virtue and vice, I guess.
As Fungo strides off into the midst of them, I think me and Bram will, I'll say, let's see how big boy plays it. If it all goes Pete Kong, let's get in there.
What was the name of the headless horseman again?
Dullahan.
I think literally as soon as I noticed that it's 3 other otter folk, clearly my Adam's apple will drop somewhat, thinking I may indeed be the 4th, and I will shout, Look over there, just on that rise, Dallahan. This is a bad omen. You'd stop, Earwig people. This is not the time for a sacrifice, and I will create an illusion, which also includes sound. And the illusion can be 30 foot away, which I think is a big enough distance for these Dullahan to suddenly
you could have
appear.
them sort of standing half behind a bush with a bit of mist around them and something. Yep.
Yes.
All right.
And they will go, stop, cease this, Earwig people.
All right. So you have to roll social task. So roll plus charm or wits.
They're both +1. But I think this is... I don't think I'm trying to charm... Not charm in that sense. Yeah, I think this is more wits. I'm going to sort of like... frighten them. And so here we go.
Cunning plan.
A cunning plan. It's bound to fail. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, not today. A big fat 12. 6 and a 5 +1. There you go.
All right. Well, they're like, all right, yeah. Thank you for letting us know. This is indeed a bad omen.
It's a bad omen. Go and find some satyr to
Just throws them under the bus.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, some satyr or some tree spirits, but definitely not any humans, Lugats, or Vivaru. That's a bad choice today, Airwig people. Now move on and let these Vivaru go free.
Oh, that's something else. We could, use them later. That'd be something to trade.
We do indeed have something to trade. And when I say we, I will quickly flick my head round and look at Cole, who is probably a good 30 or some odd meters away, and say, my friend Cole, they wish to trade. What do we have to trade, my friend?
I sigh. I look at Bram and I put my gun behind my back and walk out into the road. And I will say, I have a map of the area which may prove useful to some. What interests you, Earwig men? For Maury, I mean.
They're like blood, meat.
Blood and meat.
How about a magic stone?
God damn it, Fungo.
I will reach down sort of to the ground and pull up a stone and say, this stone is magical. Is it not, my friend? And I will hand the stone to Cole and say, is this not a magic stone, my friend?
While this conversation is going on, I think that that Bram will just drift into the mist and take off, carrying 2 stones.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Yes,
Right.
yes, Fungo. It's and I would like to do some sort of like sleight of hand to to palm this stone off with the magical stone that I have, and slice my palm, and then heal it with the magical stone, and then flick the other one
But
back.
give
into
them
my
the shit
hand.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like reflexes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? What's my reflexes?
I was hoping you were going to charm them with some Arthur Daly diff-daff. That's fine.
I don't even know who Arthur Daly is.
From Minder.
The only thing I know of Minder is the opening credits.
Yeah. No,
He's trying to play the...
Sometimes the generation gap just yawns.
It's way much too trying to play the I'm young kind of card. That's not cutting it, Will. That way you have the hardest paper round.
I I mean, Minder was long gone. You know?
Arthur Daly was a well-known charmer. Some would say he could have possibly had +1 to charm in a non-intimidating way. But anyway, we digress.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, you know, that's a talks to everybody. +1 to people rules, not intimidation. Yeah, that's a good point. I always forget about that. But anyways, I've managed, I think, to make it with an 8 on my reflexes.
Okay. All right,
But he applies the -6 and you fail.
it's partial success, so you've got those options.
Well, you did say you picked up your hand, so maybe the -3 wounds.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'll take it.
You've got a magic stone. It could heal them later.
Exactly. Yes, I will take the three harm.
Okay.
No, is that an option for social tasks, or was this a physical?
It's a physical task. This was him doing the sleight of hand.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So yes, you succeed. Did bloody hurt your hand?
Look at the blood, earwig men. Look at the blood. Don't look at the stone. Look at the blood. Look at the blood.
Not necessarily going to tell them that. The odd thing is, Cole, when you see the blood on your hand, you can smell your favorite meal. What is it?
Chicken chow mein.
Yeah, I think some of the Fomori at the back, like, can you smell chicken? What's going on? Weird. Okay.
Look at the blood. Don't smell anything. Look at the blood. Look at the blood. Look at the blood.
Right. It's powerful magic. It, you know, increases the essence, the flavor as well of any blood spilt.
Okay. All right. So they'll swap you free Viveru prisoners for a
stone.
magical cough stone.
I tell them that the magic of this stone will take 12 hours to attune to its new bearers.
All right. And they sort of go to head off, and then one of them sort of stops and looks back, and you got sandwiches in that bag.
I did. He ate all of them.
Oh. Next time.
There's some teachers over there. They'll be fine, but don't try and sacrifice them because they will mess you up.
And the Slender Men.
All right.
If you see any Slender Men, avoid them.
No, they sort of look at each other like, yeah, these guys are a bit nuts, and they just head off.
Then where's Bram gone? Stone thuds to the earth next to both of us. Like, glad I won't need that.
Before they head off, is Bram doing anything?
No. I was waiting to demonstrate the power of this stone to smite people from a distance.
That's what I thought. So you were going to sort of sell it under a smiting stone banner, and I will call forth the stone. You went for a palm, and fair enough, it worked nearly.
Yeah. It didn't occur to me to lie about what kind of stone it was, because it was like, well, I'm already telling them that I have a magic stone, and I do have a magic stone, so you know.
All right.
Can I interrogate the Vivaru, who I'd like to think owe us something at this stage?
All right.
Saying, I'd like to know how they were captured by those dumbass earwig men, and do they know of the location of the Great Calwop?
Yeah, they say, you know, Calwop's got a sort of hut a couple of kilometers down that way. Yeah, we were fishing for food. We've just got a hut by the shore, and yeah, we got ambushed when we're just out getting some food for the morning and for dinner.
That's what you'd have been. You'd have been earwig dinner.
They didn't think there were that many of them around here, but it's hard
Best
to
of
tell with the
always
fin. There's
Yeah, beat a retreat into water. Airwigs can't swim.
thanks for that.
No
I
problem.
wonder if it's true.
Are you the fungo that's you with the Hallowed 9?
I am the mighty fungo. Yes, I am.
Oh, they're shaking your hands vigorously. Oh, it's nice to meet you. We've heard about you. Thank you. Thanks for
Hopefully
helping
all
us
good
out.
news. Hopefully all good news.
Yes, as I said, you're very brave and yeah, go around helping people. So thank
Spread
you.
the word. Fungo's a real nice guy.
I will slyly turn my head and look at Bram when he says that.
And as much as any Luget can, he looks like butter would not melt in his mouth.
Ah, dear.
Excellent. We now know the location of the Great Calwop.
Well, then let's seek out Calwop and see if he can interpret this dream.
Yes.
Right.
And he may know of a portal to the human realm. So, Cole, are you a native of the Gloom, or are you a native of Earth? How does it stand, Blake?
That's up to him.
Okay, so there are humans born in the Gloom.
Yeah.
I think I am the son of a Gloom native and a Earth native who was raised in Earth, basically. But
Very Stardust.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. Okay. Yep. So you can see there's a hut by the, water's edge. There's some smoke coming out of the chimney.
Food.
I'd like to undertake some aerial reconnaissance. Because if there's a stretch of water between here and there, presumably the other two are going to have to swim across.
Swimming's no problem.
No. There's no stretch of water. It's on your bank. It's
okay.
On your side.
Okay. I would still like to do a bit of aerial reconnaissance to see what's out there.
As he takes off, I'll shout, "What does the smoke smell like?" Might be penguin flavour or mint flavour.
Or mint.
Okay.
So what? As I look about me, what do I see? What do I roll?
It's gone kind of like dark mist very quickly, and there's something sort of swirling through the dark mist towards you.
I don't like the sound of that. That's
an interesting choice of words.
I will spiral higher.
Things are getting colder and darker.
Is that because I'm going higher, or because this thing is having some effect?
Oh, it just seems to be getting colder and darker around you, and it's almost as if something's swirling around you. Now you guys are in pretty good daylight, and you can see things are dark up where Bram is.
I tuck my wings in and dive.
Oh no, he's gone back into Falcon mood.
Are you doing a superhero landing?
Well, I'm certainly hoping to get back to them before it catches up with me.
Sure. Okay, you get back to them, and the area around you guys is now dark and cold.
Is it a bird?
I don't know what this is. It's nothing to do with me.
Oh, it's Bram.
God, that's terrible. Okay, there's as the Banshee approaches.
No.
Well, you asked for it. All right. This would be a mental task to not basically void your bowels and run for it. So plus, it'll either be it'll be wits.
I feel I should go first, given that I got us into this. The way these dice are just toppling over in the recent past. So that is a straight 9.
And what are the other two you get?
You go, Cole.
What would I be rolling?
Wits.
Sorry. Wits. Choose
Do you
a
keep them
good
or lose
one.
your shit?
I keep them with an 11.
All right.
I will roll 8. Haha, Banshee! Your evil magics will not work on us. I will tell everybody to plug their ears with something.
I'm already tearing up my useful map.
I'm going to have a gloom event happen for that one, I think. Finn, I'll roll 2d8. Let's see. Let's have a look. Because
I'm thinking of diving in the water. Because sound travels differently in the water. So if I fight her underwater, it shouldn't affect me.
Okay, anyone have any metal objects?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. When the Banshee's crying, as you're running towards the water or putting stuff in your ears or whatever, anything metal warps about 45 degrees. It just starts to twist.
Well, that's going to screw the gun up, isn't it?
Might be fixable, but yeah.
Is there anything I can do to avoid any of this? Or...
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a weird effect. And yeah, so you were putting stuff in your ears, Bram, and the other two were going in the water.
I'm definitely going to go in the water.
I am instead going to. Well, are we going in the water? What are you doing, Bram? Sorry,
I'm
You're gonna-
tearing up my useful map to make earplugs.
to make earplugs? You know what? I will. I will also. I will open up my med kit and pull out cotton bandages, and I will put those in my ear.
Okay.
And
I
I will
just
draw my.
remembered
I will draw my bent sword. And, go to
I just remembered I have a med kit, but I'm already well embarked on the corners of the map.
Alrighty. Alright. The Banshee's coming towards you, Bram. You can attack it or just try and get out of the way.
Dodge.
Alright, so roll defense. In this case, it sounds like reflexes.
Okay. So that plus 2. That's a 13.
Alright. So yeah, it leaps towards you, trying to rake your chest, but you nimbly get out of the way. You want to do something or
I will. I mean, can you physically attack a Banshee?
yeah.
Then I will attack a Banshee. Might is -1, but I'm confident.
Alright.
Oh, that's 9. On 7 to 9, win, lose. Player chooses one that fits the story. Both you and the enemy are hit. Both you and the enemy miss one another. Hit, but now you're in a worse position. I will opt to have us miss one another.
That's probably a good idea. Okay. Fun goes safely underwater, and yeah, the sound's distorted. It's not quite as painful. Cole, are you doing anything?
I'm going to throw some alchemist fire at one of these banshee, the closest banshee.
There's only one. There only
No,
needs to be one.
I will throw some my flask of alchemist fire at them.
Go for it.
That'd be,
Roll plus reflexes in this case.
That is a 10.
That's also a double. So the Banshee's on fire. I'll stash that gloom event for later. We just had one. Okay.
And I think rather than making them suffer 4 damage, I think this is like the choice of whack, perhaps, in that it's like an explosion of fire that like sends it staggering backwards.
Yeah, they really don't like the heat and the light, so they go and they start to
flail around. Yeah.
They're not burning. They just really don't like it. So they're heading off. And the mist and cold and darkness goes with them.
Bloody hell. Is that bloody Banshee?
He's talking, but you can't hear him. Where did I reach over and rip his map out of his ear? Come on, let's get Fungo and get the hell out of here. Fungo!
But what about the
Fungo, come to the surface, Fungo.
Dudley Wop?
Dudley Wop.
What, the Banshee?
No. The guy in the ascetic mystic contemplator.
Let's go there. That's what I'm saying. But like,
I see.
While the Banshee's like, driven off for now, let's go see him.
Okay.
I will come to the surface and say, yeah, look, Banshees. Clearly scared of water. That's why I ran off.
As you can see, like off in the distance, the flickering glow of the Banshee's burning clothes.
No.
You know what? I was just going to come to the surface when I got short of breath, which can take some time, and I was going to throw some alchemical fire at it. Good job, somebody got there before me.
All right, just have a quick bio break. Back in a couple of minutes.
I'm going to look at the flaming banshee that Alan has put up there. Oh, no, excellent picture. Yeah. Fungo has gone full native.
Never get off the boat.
Too right. See you in a bit.
All right. All right. You all ready? No. All right. So you go to the hut to see the great Calwop. There he is.
Arthur Daly, what a man.
No.
No, that's
Friend
Del
of-
Boy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is indeed Bellboy.
Well, you expect me to recognise Minder, but you don't recognise Del Boy. Come on.
I got confused at my age. It happens.
All right. So that's the great Calwop leaning on the back of his hut. All right.
He's meant to be a very patient man. I will warn the others.
So I think that I would like to kind of perch on the kind of, I imagine there's some kind of balustrade between him and the water, and I perch there, and I'll say to Calwop, could you interpret a dream, oh great Calwop?
Well, I could. Don't know if it'll be interesting. Might be interesting if, say, something appeared in my hand.
You want me to stick a pony in your pocket, mate?
Is that a pony in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? My advice in this, Cole, is just, play it cool.
What would you like in your hand, Mr. Calwop?
I don't know.
I've got TVs, deep freeze, and David Bowie LPs, pool games, gold chains, wasp names, and at a push, some Trevor Francis tracksuits.
Oh dear.
I do have a magical sword.
Have you got a Quattro? Nah. He'll say, tell me a tale. Tell me something interesting. And now, if you can't think of one, you can just give me a vague idea of what it's about and sort of
No,
roll.
we can tell you of when we vanquished some wheeler dealers that were wheeling and dealing in gloom memorabilia. Only recently, you may have heard of us, great Calwop.
I was going to tell the story of the noble Fungo who rescued his people from the clutches of the Fomori, aided by his human sidekick.
So, take your pick, great Calwop. Which story do you want?
Or if you need a better story, I can tell you of the tragic love between a creature of the gloom and a woman drawn to it, unknowing.
Or there is the tale of the hedgehog whisperer.
We have many stories, great Calwop, and I shall relay a story.
All right. Well, I'll rustle up some grub and we'll have a chat. Now, common food and drink in the gloom is honey on porridge, honey on toast, honey on vegetables, and honey in cakes. Fruit juice, common apple, orange, and lemon, or mead, which is blackberry, blueberry, or raspberry. And he puts all of this shit out on the table, puts some logs on the fire, and says, come in.
Excellent. Do you have anything without honey from my human friend? He doesn't like honey too much.
Doesn't he?
He looks like you've slapped him. It's like, what do you mean without honey?
I'm sweet enough, mate.
He's trying to lose weight. It's this new diet from the human realm. I don't really understand it.
I'll take the veggies. It's fine.
Also, the dust diet. You can eat twice as much as normal. Dust.
Ah, dear.
I kind of imagine the Lugat are carnivorous, given the picture I've chosen and the teeth in that picture.
That might be a fruit bat.
Yeah, we did come up with fruit bat last week, didn't we?
We did come up with fruit. Okay, then. All right.
You don't like the idea of fruit bat.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with the fruit.
Yeah. It says,
I will tell. I will ask the Great Calop if he knows of a portal to the human realm.
Yeah, there's one about 10 kilometers sort of northeast of here.
Excellent. And if he's willing to interpret our dreams, we would be willing to quest for his lost love.
Under my breath, I'll say something like, "We have quests stacking up."
She said, "It's a real quick one, this one."
Just offer him my magic sword.
He's not an Airwig person. I'm sure he won't fall for that. Cole, our chief negotiator.
What am I negotiating? That we'll find his dead wife. Is that it?
It could line us up for another session at some stage.
Yeah, you know what? I will do that. I say, yeah, finding people who are lost. It's a noble task. The Nine approve of helping those who have lost their way in the gloom. We'll happily take this on once we've finished our business.
Sometimes it's nice to shine the spotlight on the GM.
Okay.
That's my player's guide for the gloom. So shine spotlight on GM every now and then.
So the Calwop, it sort of goes out the front and he sprinkles some feathers around and then some hair from a donkey and some fish scales. And he's sort of mentioning the names of each of the 9 gods, and he's sort of praying to them for a bit. Someone just want to roll straight 2d6 with no mods?
Cole, you're negotiating.
Sure. That is an 8. No, that's a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've got to consult the gods move where you they can give you hints of things but on a 6 that doesn't happen. The gods aren't happy with you.
That doesn't mean they're displeased. It just means they're not happy.
7 to 9 would be not happy. 6 is angry.
I think maybe they've heard they don't like Bram's attitude towards the noble art of questing.
Okay, so he says, the gods are silent. You must make your own path.
Very well.
Yeah, he seems a bit scared.
Well, we wouldn't be who we were if we weren't able to do it without the gods at our side. And we'll still look for your lost one.
Don't give that away.
Shh.
I will turn to Cole and say, "You don't think the gods are angry because of that church business, do you?"
Who knows what drives the 9?
True. I didn't think they'd see into the human realm.
The 9 see all.
Oh, that's tragic.
Including what you did last night.
Okay, so he shares this big feast with you. You can stay the night if you want. Just not that he's got beds, it's just a bit of floor you can sleep on, but it's still indoors.
I think we will take him up on his kind offer of hospitality, as it's pretty gloomy outside.
Yeah, seems good to
It's
to me.
It often is.
And if it's okay with him, I'll just make use of his rafters.
Yep.
That's
That's
right.
sturdy enough.
We're a very space efficient party. You don't need to rely on too much ground space for us.
It's like bunk beds, but it's instead of one above the other one, it's actually upside down above the other one. new to IKEA. Okay.
Schmurflish.
In the morning, you wake up and the great Calwop is outside fishing, singing to the fish.
Very well, great Calwop. Thank you for your assistance and reading the Omen of the Gods. It was most insightful. We shall push on.
You can take some porridge if you want.
We most definitely will.
Just fill up your wineskin.
Put some in a bag.
Look on Elon's face is worth it.
The idea of a refreshing drink of porridge on the road.
Of cold porridge on the road.
Yeah, squeezing it out of the small, oh dear God. We'll take forever to fill it and then it'll be horrible.
I'll tell you, just never think about it when you're squeezing it in your mouth. It's best not to. But, it's still a tasty meal. You don't get to have the physique of Fungo by skipping porridge. That's for sure. And I will sort of wobble my belly at that sound.
Well, I mean, it's a fair bit of thick fur as well.
True.
Okay.
So my vote is that we go to the human realm.
Why? I want to find out about this dream.
Right.
Stay. You are like some gadfly. Oh, there's a quest. Oh, there's another one.
Fungo, I agree with Brown. We have to focus. If the 9 are pissed with us, the only way we'll get back in the good books is by finding this talk.
See, I was.
Well,
my opinion was, there's no sign from the gods. Therefore, let's look for another sign.
A dream is ascending from the gods, you daft otter.
all right. You do feel you're close to the talk. It's to the east of here.
Well,
let's go east.
Yeah. Thanks for the food, Calwop. Yeah. Fungo, come on.
All right. So you heading along the shore of the fen.
I think I'll sort of be behind them by a bit and just continually sucking each finger free of porridge. And when a hand's free, I'll dunk it in my porridge and get another handful of porridge. So paying no attention really to what's going on. I'm just sort of following their footsteps and just walking behind them.
All right. So there's some caves up ahead. Who wants to look for? Who wants to roll to look for the right cave? This would be a wits. No, this would be an expertise roll.
Are they at multiple levels or are they all at ground level?
There are multiple levels.
Then that's probably me.
Yeah, I'd go for Bram for sure.
Expertise, you say? Okay. 7.
All right. The most logical thing would be consumes time because, you're not walking on flat ground. You've got to climb around stuff and that. So it takes a couple of hours.
Not climb around, soar gracefully past.
The caves aren't that big. Okay, so take a bit of time to get them. Okay, there's a shining light of the talk in the back of the cave. But what is unexpected in the cave? Will.
A rather large and mean Fomori.
Oh, okay.
a disgruntled Fomori with a stone.
Yes, yeah. A disgruntled Fomori, coated in the blood of his friends, ragged, holding a stone. May have come across with a banshee at some point in the last night.
Righty. And he's just like, you. And he's pointing at, who was talking? It was Fungo, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Fungo. So he's pointing at Fungo. You. This. And he crushes it. It's fake.
No, it wasn't. You just need to know how to activate it. But now you've crushed it. There's no way you can.
He's running at you.
Very well. I shall take up an offensive stance. Now, are our weapons still bent, or are they unbent?
Ooh, should have done something about that at the.
Well, I'm relying on my bent axe head that's on a wooden heft has now become a hammer. So I'm reasonably confident that will still hurt.
Yep.
It's still bent, but if it's bent back, it will have a nice cutting edge on it.
It hasn't been back.
That's fine. So yeah, I will take up some sort of martial arts pose. Well, it does say martial arts in the
yeah.
Kung Fu water.
It's one or the otter. Okay, so he's going to attack. Roll plus might or reflexes, depending on your style.
It's definitely sort of sumo style might. Eight plus 2, 10.
All right.
Which I believe is you hit. They suffer 4 damage or choose one that fits the story.
Yep.
What is -1 AV?
So the armor goes down. The armor's less effective than it used to be.
Yes, I think I'll do 2 damage, and I shall sunder. That's a beautiful word. His carapace.
Yep. Well,
with my mighty hand hammer.
Okay, Cole, what are you doing?
I swear, pull out my gun. Yeah, I swear, I pull out my gun and realize that it's still bent. And I'm wondering if I can do it. Yeah, you know what? I'll throw it. Or maybe I will like use it as a club. You know, like pistol whip, kind of like slam it down on the thing.
Gun fu.
Gun fu. Yeah, I'll do a gun kata, like Equilibrium. So that would be a might -1. That means I get a 9. Which is I think I hit, but now I'm in a worse tactical position. So I smack it into like the cracked, like I think I leap from behind the Fomorian and smash it down into like its thing. But then it spins round and like pins me up against the wall, Yep.
Bram, what are you doing?
Which is quite good actually, because now it's got its back to us because it's pinning Cole to the wall. So I will leap onto its back and bite its head off.
Roll attack.
I think given what I've just described, I have to go with might.
Yeah.
Which is -1, I've just remembered, but never mind. Oh dear God. That's a 3 all told. I'll just mark experience and hit the wall. Nobody told me their blood was acid.
Let's have a look. What have we got?
Aim for the weak spot, you fool. Aim for the weak spot.
I think it grabs you with the other arm, bites you. Oh yeah, you're in the gloom, so it's actually tougher. It bites your wing, so your wing is kind of half trash. You can't fly at the minute, and 2 points of damage. Okay. Now it's going to throw coal at Fungo. Roll defense. Yeah, well, this would be roll defense Fungo. Because coal's just chucked it.
You're muted, Paul.
That's a really good point. So I need to narrate this or the attribute modifier. So I'm going to try and catch Cole. So yes, I will use my might to catch the large bulk.
Biff. No, I know what you mean. All right. Go for it.
Ooh. That's a roll of 4 plus 2, 6. So that's not good. I will mark XP though.
Oh, that's all right. All right, so 2 points of damage each as you smack into each other and the ground, which is a rough cut cave.
Can I just say I love the description of the move here. Defend 6-. You suffer the full effect and will remember this day.
Well, you will. If you live, of course.
Not for long.
Get off me, you fool! Cole! I'm doing perfectly fine. I issued you both with instructions.
Good catch.
You failed to capitalise on the advantage.
All right, so it's advancing
Well,
on
I
those
hit the
two.
bloody bug.
Bram, you have an opportunity. While it's
Yeah, because
advancing.
it's advancing on them.
Mhm.
It does now reveal its back to me.
Mhm.
So again, I will aim for its weak spot and try to bite its head off. Because the red mist is down now. There is only one attack that's going to work here.
Yep.
So I will roll plus might. I don't believe it. That's roll 5, get 4. The other wing. But maybe I bought time for them to get on their feet.
No, you've where's the thing? You've you've got sort of pain shooting out from where it bit your wing before, and you've picked up some disease or something. It's making you feel sick. You've got additional -1 to might rolls.
And do I take any harm?
Yes, it'll be 3 points.
Then, just so you know, I will use my magic healing next.
Okay. It's coming towards Cole and Fungo. Cole, what are you doing?
I am going to roll away. And is there a way I can smack my gun against the wall and try to realign the barrel?
That seems pretty unlikely. That's like a super lucky roll. There's plenty of rocks if you just want to chuck a rock at it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, I didn't expect my gun to bend 45 degrees either, so I'm a bit. I will smack it with a rock then.
I will point out you do have a transform ability.
Into a bird, though. I don't see a bird being.
Oh no, yeah, it is a bird. Okay.
Huge.
I've got the transform ability into another beast.
Okay.
if we're outside, I'd maybe go for the big bird, and just like slash at it. But I think in a cave, it's a bad idea to turn into a flying creature.
Yep.
An Ankh hag, I think, Alan, there.
Is that how you say it? I always thought of it as Ankheg.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I always Angheg, but
Each
yeah,
their own.
who knew that I still had that D&D knowledge?
Is that from your
Nasty.
first edition Monster Manual, second edition, third edition, 3.5, 4, or 5th edition, Alan? Because you have all the editions.
No, I don't. The only one I actually have a solid copy of is the original.
Wow.
That was probably before you were born, Will.
That was definitely before I was born. Yeah.
Oh, so you're just attacking?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Actually, if there's a way, I would actually like not to attack, but to sort of like duck and like maybe like just throw like a small stone at it and just more like kind of like duck and dodge out of its way, like sort of distract it while the rest of them, leaving it open to attack from the others. Like maybe more like kind of just ducking and diving rather than.
Yep. All right,
So-
I can just say you do that. That's fine. You doing that. Fungo, what are you doing?
I shall sort of Nick Frost styley from what's the Enter the Badlands, where it's a fat bloke doing martial arts. So I will do the classic sort of push off my shoulders and flip up and try and sort of open palm strike it in its weak spot.
Okay. Sounds like
Is that
reflexes.
narratively good enough?
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. Here we go. Fungo attack. No. That came up exactly the same as it was, but it did roll. So that's 4, 5, 6 failure.
I think it's sort of looking at Cole, but its stinger goes bang and hits your leg. Your left leg is pretty much useless. It's been stung and numb and not working properly. And 3 points and 3 points of damage.
Still in the fight.
Yeah, I yell out like, "Shit, Bram!"
I'll start by healing myself. One more point of damage, and I'm unconscious.
No. I think. Yep, that's fine. You can heal yourself.
So, mend 6 wounds or remove poison disease. Pick one each time. I will mend 6 wounds to buy myself some time.
No, you don't have to do it all on yourself. You can grab one of the others and do 3 each or something. That's up to you.
You can do 6 on yourself.
Well, given no, I am just. Each of you has 3 before you reach the threshold of unconscious.
Yes.
So I will recover 6 on myself at this point,
All right.
so that I am sufficiently resilient to heal both of you next time.
The for Maurice, instead of attacking, he just sort of turns around and, "Did you use that stone? Did you use that stone, big ears?"
Yes. Aha! Here it is. Whoop, out of the cave.
And he goes past and he sort of barges past Fungo and Cole.
I pull out the actual healing stone, and if it's possible to use that in any way upon either of my upon Fungo, I think, or myself.
Yep, both get 3 points back.
Okay.
It does not make your leg better, but it does, stop you bleeding to death or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I look down at my handgun and I go like, "It's used as a fucking melted chocolate, as a chocolate kettle." How do I? It looks like it'll probably take a while to fix this, wouldn't it? Rather than like, yeah. If only I'd noticed before we left Golwops. Crap. Well, quick, let's see if there's anything else in this cave before it comes back.
All right, so there's some loose rocks at the back, and you can see the torque shining out from there.
Quick.
Then I shall nimbly go and pick up the torque.
All right.
It's your colour, Bram. Gold really brings out your eyes.
Well, it's silver. Yeah. All right.
Silver really brings out your fur.
Was there a gloom event when Bram cast healing?
No.
Okay. I was hoping a portal to the real world would appear. That would be handy.
Nope. Okay. Actually, I'll say when you pick up the torque, everything goes misty. You hear a wah, wah, and you can smell mint. And then sort of after a couple of minutes, the mist clears. You're in the woods. Sorry, you're not in the woods. You're in... You're in a bookshop.
Am I still holding the torque?
Yes.
And am I in my human form?
No.
Am I in the gloom?
Yes.
Okay. And are the others there?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all there.
Okay.
Your leg still hurts. Your wing still hurts. Your gun is still bent.
Is there anybody else in the bookshop?
There's a few people. When you're looking around,
Pull a book off the shelf. Jesus, guys.
God.
I pull a book off the shelf and flick it open to see what's written inside.
God. That was alarmingly quick. All right. Yeah. There are all kinds of books here, books forgotten about and books never written or only contemplated. It's kind of a bookshop with a door to another bookshop with the door. This place is called Boundless Books. It's one of the nexus points, which is like a special magical zone. It's sort of 27 bookshops all joined together. They might even have books on gun repair.
Have we entered our space?
It's its own sort of area.
Sod gun repair. Let's get some leg repair going.
Well, if we're in a reasonably safe place, then I will recast the magic.
So you
sort yourself out first, Bram, because you've still got that poison in you.
Oh, that's true. So if I use it to cure poison, remove poison disease, that would... is there any cost to using the magic?
there's a chance of a gloom event, but
Okay.
one just brought you here, so yeah.
Okay, so I think it's worth it. So I will gain, cure poison on myself, and if there's not a gloom event, I will then distribute. So who's in a position where they've got? How does this work on a kind of defined condition, or just a disease or poison? So can I help Cole's leg?
No, you can't. But
Oh, I've got a med kit.
Could...
Will the med kit work?
No, not really for that. I mean, it'll get a splint, but his stone will, healing stone will.
Quick,
So you can
get the stone on the leg.
So you take some time fixing that. So yeah, you can fix your leg and your wing. It's still going to be a bit. They're both going to be a bit stiff and sore, and you probably feel a bit tired or whatever because you've just had a fight. But yeah, definitely better than when you're in the cave.
I'd like to evaluate this this talk. I have a virtue called understanding. I want to understand it.
Okay. Well, it's sacred to Morrigan, so it's kind of going to be. Let's have a look. Poor Autumn and Prophecy. I don't know, Paul. What do you think?
What about the talk?
Yeah, what does it do?
I think it can return people from the dead, but only for 24 hours.
Okay. It's a waste. I could have killed one of you. All right.
Oh, then we could do the reincarnation move, couldn't we?
But wait, there's still time. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it can bring back somebody that's been dead. I don't think you even need their body, but it only brings them back for 24 hours. I think whoever you will to come back will come back.
Are you thinking of what's his wop's lost wife?
I may indeed be thinking we could aid the lost Calwop.
What a tangle web you weave.
It is. It's so tangled I can hardly remember it.
While these guys are doing healing-y stuff, I will see if I can find the proprietor of the bookshop.
Yeah, there's a lady in there, glasses, just generally sorting out books, marking everything with the Dewey Decimal System, and
yeah, I say, excuse me, miss. It's a lovely shop you've got here. Where are we?
oh, well, you're in Boundless Books.
Boundless Books, indeed. And where is the exit?
Well, you can go to the other rooms there and there.
But
There's every book you need.
Yes, and if one wanted to leave a place of books and go to beyond, say Earth, for example, if you've heard of such a place.
Oh, of course I've heard of Earth, but why would you want to? We have all the books you could ever want to enjoy reading and have here.
I'm more of an audible kind of guy.
What's that?
Oh, well, I can't show you here, but in the mortal world, they have all of these boundless books can fit within something no larger than a small stone, and you can, the voices they will they will be read out to you.
That's an interesting story. The fiction section is over there, and she just wanders off.
Heresy! Heresy! Heresy!
I wonder if these books are flammable.
Are you hoping that a fire exit will be highlighted?
Yeah. Or, you know what, I'd say, excuse me, miss, is there anywhere I can find a book about Boundless Books?
No.
They said that this place had all of the books.
Well, you're here. You can explore and read to your heart's content.
Indeed.
No, but we're very interested.
Boundless Books, the history, the place, this shop.
Okay, on the shelf, you notice, Alan, what would be a book that Cole would catch his eye?
I think that it.
I've got an awesome one. Oh, come on, Alan. It's got to be J.R. Hartley. Fly fishing.
No. I think it's a blueprint of Boundless Books.
Will, what's a book that Fungo would catch Fungo's eye?
Britain's Best Chippies.
I still think Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. Again, that may go over Will's head, that one.
That does go over my head, but
Okay,
I think it rings a bell. To be honest with you, I just don't know it.
All right, Paul, what's a book that would catch Bram's eye?
Sonar, A Modern Miracle.
So yeah, you find yourself sort of looking at these books, saying it's really interesting.
Are we are literally lost in a good book here, aren't we?
Yeah.
I would like to invoke the soul of Brigid. You may meditate to sense the presence and flows of magic. Once per day, roll intuition to detect ley lines within 1 kilometer radius.
Okay.
And then I want to follow my ley line wherever it goes.
All right. You're wandering around between the different bookshops, which are all interjoined, and you bump into Cole looking at his blueprint, and it's like, yes, there's ley lines between each of them to each of them. And there's 27 of them.
But there's nothing leading outside them.
No.
Who are your allies, Cole?
One of them was a member of the Posties Union, I think, to give us. But I have we're all part of a Gutta Mage guild, I think. So I can find 3 or 6 allies once per session. Maybe one of them is a librarian.
No, I will say 3 of them are in here reading books.
Yeah?
Yep. They've been here for 3 weeks.
So Steve, Jess, and Fatima are here and have been reading books, and they are all members of my Gutta Magic group, and they are librarians by trade, and they all came in through different book spaces into Boundless Books. And
we are in L space.
Yeah. And I will ask Fatima. So Fatima, like, oh, good to see you. Where's the exit?
It's over there somewhere. Have you seen this? These books. There's so many good books here. It's great here.
Yeah. I'll buy you a Kindle when we get back. Okay. Let's. How do we get out? It's more to life than books.
Well, yeah. Well, of course there is. But there's just so many while we're here. They're just so great to read.
Yeah, but you can take them with you, right?
Yeah.
So we've got this, the 9, the big wigs. They want us to get something to them, and we've sort of ended up in a bookshop, which ordinarily I'd love, but I usually like to know where the exits are, and so far no one's able to give me a straight answer, Fatima. And Steve looks as though he's wasting away in here. 3 weeks. It's not healthy to stay 3 weeks in a bookshop.
All right.
I would like to persuade her to.
It's a mental task to resist the lure of the bookshop.
So wits, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Or is it a situation where it might be like, the force of my charming ability would be like persuading her? I'm easy either way. I'm just fishing for that plus.
Nah,
plus
not
1.
really.
Yeah, okay. I get a 9.
Okay. So you're sort of looking at the blueprint, and talking to Bram about the ley lines, and you figure if you walk in a certain pattern, you can find an exit that isn't there if you don't walk in the pattern.
Okay. Well, decide one option that fits the story, right? Gloom event.
Okay. Let's see.
This place must be all the dreams of all the bloody nerds back on Earth.
So what's that? 15.
I can see the next Discworld book.
Okay.
Nerds are bad, but they're nowhere near as bad as hipsters.
Cole's both, to be fair.
All right. Just you're about to go through the exit, and there's a Dullahan there, not on its horse, just holding his head. And the head says, "Do not forget, Fungo." You're muted. You're muted.
I'll point backwards and said, "It's a bloody massive bookshop. It's full of books. I'm not going to forget anything. They're all written down. Of course I'm not going to forget. We're on the case. Leave it with us. We're just going to find an exit. That's all we're doing."
The head turns towards the body and then turns back to you. And you do gestures with the headless horseman. All right.
Do I not look a believable guy? Of course we're going to go to the mortal realm next and find Stoker.
All right.
I will then
Fatima's-
dash off and try and find the other two.
Yep. All right. So Steve and Jess will come with you. Fatima's going to stay there.
Fatima. I hand her my wineskin full of porridge.
Hasn't she suffered enough?
And I say, sorry it's not a jam sandwich, but it's all I've got, Fatima. Take care of yourself, all right? Remember, you can't eat books. And I didn't see a coffee shop here.
Unless they're in the food section.
Yeah, there'd probably be a little cafe food section thing.
Oh, there's a little Waterstones coffee thing in there, like a Costa coffee is inside the Gloom space.
Okay. All right, you come out on Pudding Bridge, south of Salisbury.
Well, that's a relief.
It is. Getting caught in a bookshop. Terrible.
Yeah, so
Look.
you would have been there for like 8 hours.
Look, we are now in a really difficult position, it seems to me, because I'll be honest with you, I've been putting off thinking about the Stoker thing.
I mean, we get back to Earth. Headless Horseman will have to come get us if he really was asked about it. And who knows, maybe Stoker really wants to go see the Queen. Maybe he's looking forward, this is just the opportunity Hedge needs to make an alliance. I mean, monarchy, right? They love monarchists.
Exactly.
They're all about that.
So what? We just honestly put this to him.
Aye.
Or you could
Skin off our nose, is it?
You could be busy with other stuff and just sorry we haven't got around to it yet.
Aye. No cost to us giving it to Stoker, though, is there really?
Okay, we'll put it to him.
All right, so you're going to go and see Mr. Stoker at Oak headquarters. Okay. So, like, you going straight there, or are you going to go and have a feed first?
Yeah, I think an expensive coffee shop where I can moan that it's way too expensive, and it's just full of hipsters.
We go into one of those places that does like all cold press and different batch brews and things like that.
Well, Fungo's got a book on Britain's best chippies, and it mentioned there's one that was set up by a bunch of Canadians, and they have this stuff called poutine, where there's like cream and gravy on chips, and
cheese curds, not cream.
Yeah, so there's poutine there.
Oh yeah, poutine. Yeah. That sounds excellently calorific.
All right, Fungo.
What we need.
Fungo, I know it's hipster stuff, really, but like, trust me, you'll love it. Poutine. It's like chips, gravy, better.
Yeah. Let's give it a try. Yeah, let's go to the chippy. That's a lot better than a hipster place. I could probably get like one of those nice breaded rolls that have been sat under a glass cage for like 3 weeks.
I know, but I think any chippy that does poutine is probably a hipster chippy.
You're right. That is very hipster.
Yeah. Speaking of someone who had poutine on last Tuesday from a hipster place in Manchester.
I didn't even know they sold it in this country. There you go.
Yeah.
I've just heard legends about it. We have chips and gravy quite common here, but not cheese curds on it.
Yeah.
I lived in Canada for quite a few months, and the Canadians would eat it, and I just thought, no,
It's
evil.
okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. That's about it, really.
What's that macam thing they eat that's horrendously calorific? That's good, Alan. That's you caught me on the way with that one.
You guys are drunk with power.
Yeah.
Chicken parma.
Oh yeah, chicken parmos.
Yeah, in fact, you have them, don't you, Blake?
Yeah, chicken parmy
parmas.
or schnitty. Yeah. Like cheese and tomato and onion and stuff just grated on top of a schnitzel or crumbed topside steak. Yeah.
Aussies and Geordies have it.
Yep.
Very well. So after the hipster chip shop, which I will bemoan about the destruction of the classic British fish and chip shop by the invasion of hipsters. They're getting everywhere. Many cafes, now they're moving into fish and chip shops. Next we'll have a hipster bookshop with a coffee shop built into it. Oh, no, we've already come past one of them.
Yeah, but when was the last time you went to a bookshop, Fungo? Other than the one that we just ended up in?
Never.
Alrighty. So it's about like 9 at night now. Are you going to go and see Stoker, or are you going to go to your respective homes and crash for the night first? Or?
Bram would know a lot more about the availability of Stoker at this time of night.
I think we should crash and go to see Stoker in the morning.
All right. You're okay with holding on to the talk, Bram?
Oh, yes.
Are you going to call him Stuka? He's not a German bomber. Very well. So, do we have individual places of residence? I presume you would, Cole, because you come from here. But I'm not too sure about me and Bram.
You must have like a, what's it called, a bedsit somewhere.
Bedsit.
You can do.
And I have the look of a wealthy scholar. Yeah. So I must have a wealthy scholar's house.
Or a flat somewhere or something.
Which never has enough room for Fungo.
Of course. No, I think a bedsit. Now, I did actually have a residence. I was crashing with, was it Angelina? Yes, but of course she's kicked me out. So I think a very grotty bedsit with like a Z bed. I can't even afford. No, even better, a mattress on the floor. It doesn't get any better than that. And numerous piles of chips dotted around, cans of special brew.
Oh, God. Oh, dear. All right.
So individual residences, just so you can raid Bram's place and rob the talk from him in an easily justifiable manner.
All right. So you get up in the morning. You're all going to go and see Mr. Stoker. Someone sent a link, and we're going to regret looking at this. Oh, wow. That's impressive. I know people that went through uni with stuff like that.
That's good.
So, yeah, you can see Mr. Stoker the next day, or you can go bugger it. We're going to France for a month to let the heat die down.
No, I think
let's go
see Stoker.
Oh.
And how are we going to open? Are we opening with? Are we going to tell him about the talk, or anything else, or just deliver the invitation?
Well, the talk, he didn't send you for the talk. That was just a dream you had, and then you woke up there.
No,
so that's...
but I do like Bram's sort of lure. It's a lure. It's bait. I take. Is it Bram?
Well, I'm just, I'm curious about whether we're just going to deliver this flat and straight. The Queen.
My vote is for flat and straight because I have no real, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like pissing off Hedge, the Pursuivant, Delta Green, whatever, right, is a bad idea by playing him. You know what I mean? Vague promises of rewards don't motivate me to cross the government, essentially.
And I would, I don't want to make this particularly enticing because I prefer Stoker to be my handler than somebody who's sharper. So who's on point for this then?
I mean, Fungo was the one who spoke to them.
Yes, Cole, but he's a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, he is, but
you never know what's going to come out of his mouth next.
You know what? I mean, we know what's going to go into his mouth, anything he can find. But yeah, exactly. You're right.
I'm inclined to just bang a bag of chips in his hand and hope he just spends the meeting eating. Sounds
like a plan to me. Right, Fungo, do you want some? Should we grab some breakfast on the way? I think there's a McDonald's on the way there.
Jeez.
So you've been spoiled by your hipster poutine, have you? You're now too good for a McDonald's.
No. I'd much prefer a dirty, greasy spoon.
Yeah, we'll stop at a food van. You know, one of those builders' food vans with the.
All right, so we'll have a quick bio break for a couple of minutes. Okay. Alrighty. I see you're going to see Mr. Stoker. He's doing some paperwork in his office.
Mr.
Come in.
Stoker.
Come in.
Nice to see you, Squire. How's it going?
It's always things to follow up. Have a seat.
Yep. Lads, come on, let's sit down. Well, we've just been, on our travels into the other space, and we have an interesting offer to present to you from a high court indeed.
Okay. He puts his pen down. Sits back. Go on.
The Queen of, I forget the name exactly.
Sapphire Throne faction.
Of the Sapphire Throne, which is an audience with you, Stoker. You specifically. They've heard good things, I guess.
Oh. Okay.
But we pass on the offer to you. Hedge. Thought it might be of interest to you to hedge to king and queen and country.
Yeah. I'll check the protocol, see if I'm supposed to bring a gift or something. I don't know, but yeah, all right.
I'll lean in and I'll say it was a group of headless horsemen who told us to pass that message along. So,
Oh, okay. Did they seem annoyed?
It's hard to tell.
Okay. Did they say like soon or just at some point coming?
They just said come, as far as I know. Is that right, Fungo?
Yes, most definitely. And I hear the Queen has a penchant for chips. So if you want to bring a gift, you can have my chips and give it to the Queen.
I'll get some fresh chips on the way. That'll be okay. You're all okay from your travels?
Yeah, I mean, we ran into a bit of trouble.
What happened?
Hipsters. Hipsters everywhere. Salisbury's being taken over by hipsters. It's terrible.
It's awful. I agree on that.
Big bloody banshee.
Oh, nasty creatures. You all appear okay, though?
Fungo's leg's never going to look quite the same, I don't think. Underneath all the hair, I mean. But yeah, it was. And I pull out my gun and I go, "Can I get another one of these, please?" Got some weird bendy metal stuff. Or you know what? Well, you know what? I'm going to say that anyways. Yeah.
Some weird bendy metal. Okay. What was it?
It was a pistol.
Oh, okay. He sort of go to the cabinet. Okay. So it's like here's a Browning 7mm 6.0 226 and a. No, well, for BPK, let's be traditional. You can have all three. Go for it.
Music to my ears, Stoker. Knew there was a reason we came to you. As I'm putting away the last one, I turn around to the others.
You're quiet, Bram. Everything okay?
Just be careful, Mr. Stoker. Just be careful.
Well, I appreciate your concern, but I think if she was actually angry, they would have just sent the horseman to come and get me. You know, it does seem like an invitation rather than they want to come and kill me or whatever. So,
I'm sure that's the case, Mr. Stoker.
There was definitely no intent at your destruction.
Well, I certainly hope not.
Well, you work in intelligence, Mr. Stoker. I'm sure you can make an educated guesses about things.
Oh, I'm just a researcher, but
under his breath, Bram says, "In intelligence, but not with intelligence."
Anyway, we've got a bit of business for our other patrons to attend to.
You don't want a sherry or scotch before you go?
Sure, why not? The good stuff.
Yeah, he'll get out some sherry and scotch for you each. And all right,
Yeah.
to your health. Glad you're all okay. Been doing good work.
Scotch, not sherry.
Yeah, and he'll just ask for a sort of overview of what you've been up to and stuff, and make some notes.
I will lie, and will not tell him that we're here. It will not tell him that we've retrieved a silver torque at the behest of the Nine. That's the Nine's business, not Hedges.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we'll go to epilogues at this point. Bram, do you want to go first, or you want to need a bit of time, or?
I think that we see Bram attending a sparsely attended funeral, and on the gravestone is the name Stoker.
Oh, okay.
That by way of a kind of hook for the next series.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe a man with a briefcase, stood with an umbrella next to you.
I want to leave it just all we can see. We can't see the whole gravestone, just the name Stoker, or maybe even just Stoke.
All right. Cole, you got anything?
You see Cole with what do they call them? Jess and Steve.
Steve. Yep.
Steve, Jess, and Steve, and in going into a grand huge bookstore. And going down the stacks and down the aisles until we turn a corner and we come round and we see we've entered Boundless Books into the gloom again, and we're now there with supplies to rescue Fatima, basically. Who I think is rail thin, still reading 3 books, piles them around there.
Has she changed the name to Thinema?
Jeez.
I don't know what you're on tonight, but I want some of it.
Fungo, what's your epilogue? Yep. No,
Very well. I think you see Fungo. He's attending a very ultra, either left or right wing group, the Anti-Hipster Brigade, and it's a collection of degenerate individuals who look very much like Fungo, as if they really could not organise a piss up in a brewery, plotting various schemes to bring about the downfall of hipsterism in the UK.
You know that they attacked.
You're actually going to tell me there is such a group?
Well, no. So, down in London, there's a place called Cereal Bar that is a hipster as fuck place that does all different types of cereals from around the world. You go there, you buy an overpriced bowl of cereal, right?
It just shut down in the pandemic.
It was, yeah, but a group of exactly the kind of idiots that you're talking about went and smashed it up one day.
Yes,
and it was literally they were all
threw mugs of tea through the window. I was going to suggest that Fungo and his group are seen trying the door of a locked brewery.
Yeah.
They have to meet in the street.
Yeah. Literally, sat outside on the curb.
Could not organise a piss up in
a brewery. Excellent, Alan. Yeah. So that is Fungo's epilogue.
and mine will be, I think, the sort of split screen of a nighttime, and there's figures in cloaks approaching Bram and Fungo's places of residence, and they've got kind of plant tendrils for hair. There's the audience will know they're Kelpie, and there's like dozens approaching both their houses.
Kelpie Whisperer.
For a minute, I thought it could have been a Dullahan with a pot plant on his head.
It's not Devo, no. All right, and then credits. All right. Dear.
Phenomenal as ever. Like, super.
It's a fun, silly time in the weird place of the gloom. And
It is weird as shit in the gloom. That bookshop I found very disconcerting. I have to tell you, I enjoy bookshops, but I'd like to be able to leave.
Yeah, I like the idea that it's a threat, even though there's nothing actually trying to harm you.
Yeah. No, I like the bookshop. You got a star for that one.
I like the bookshop. I like it as well because it feels like the gloom, like in the broader sense, is kind of like a fairly fantasy type world. But then I like the idea of these dreams and mental sort of space having these other areas of things like boundless books, for example. Or we get those teachers who are just, I feel like very like kind of like, British sort of school teacher sort of style. In
Sleeveless jumpers.
Yeah,
tweed,
exactly. Yeah.
Elbows. Yeah.
Basements for RPG rooms.
Is that a thing in Britain?
Paul's extrapolating from an example of one.
That's good enough for Paul most of the time.
But I think that a bit more of that would be quite interesting. Actually, those bits where you're not certain what's the gloom and what's reality. I think that's quite an interesting place to sit.
Yeah, they could be almost like transitional spaces, like I like that idea a lot.
I do like your yes, like. That was a good example you didn't come up with.
Yes.
It's really good, Blake. I really enjoy it. I'm not too sure we're playing it in the way you wanted it to be played in, but it's very enjoyable.
No, that's all. It's all cool. Yeah, I mean, there's options under the physical tasks and social tasks of, you see something reminds you of a dream or a memory or whatever. So, and the players choose that. So it's up to you how dream world you want to make it and how much you just go with the Celtic fantasy default of the gloom.
No, I see. Like you see us touch them. I guess when I first look at those, I think of that as like our dreams are about this place. Like when I first read the setting, it's as in that the gloom is a dream space, but we're like kind of like Aboriginal Dreamwalker sort of style. Like what we dream of is these dreamlands rather than necessarily like normal human dreams.
Yeah, it's kind of a Celtic fantasy by default, but your dreams and memories modify the bits that you're sort of traveling through and stuff. So it's
I think making that explicit, because there's a really interesting bit of world building in there. I don't quite know how you kind of mechanize it or do something with it, but there's the idea that describe a dream that you have in the real world, and then that becomes a piece of the map of the gloom.
That could be on some of those navigating moves, perhaps,
Yes, that would be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Like you're trying to work your way through, the gloom, like reality, but like you can find yourself wandering into spaces that are formed by your own psyche rather than like the established world kind of stuff. Having my gun bent in half left me like, oh shit, I don't have any other weapons.
Yeah, it was just because one of the gloom events is metal gets warped, unfortunately. Yeah. And while there is magic to just go, I just bend my gun back, it's like, it's a precision instrument. I can't just go
Yeah, I mean, in terms of magic, beyond the magic moves, is there supposed to be like a use magic-y sort of function?
No, there isn't, but I don't say there can't be. I was debating on having some sort of ritual thing, but that might be post character curation. You can take that because it's too much of a I win button in Monster of the Week. I wanted it a bit more restricted.
Yeah, and I always struggle with the requirements in Monster of the Week because there's not a set turn order, so it takes a while. It's kind of just like, well, you shut up for a few minutes while everybody else takes a few goes, and then we get back to you, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because I've seen some people even run it with, no, you don't need narrative positioning. You can just try something. And I was like, no, you can't try to make a potion if you've never been taught how to make a potion or never heard of anyone making a potion. That's just bullshit.
My players were always just like, I do everything with use magic, and no matter how they describe it, it's use magic. I want to trap a monster, no matter what, you know.
Yeah. So, no, it can get overused, but yeah, I don't want that. But yeah, I can certainly do it post character creation. We can start that in, and you can be more of a magician later or whatever.
Because it feels as though it's a place of magic, and people can do rituals and stuff beyond. These specific, like turning into a bird, for example, is a great move. As is, what's my other one? Examine the memory. I mean, examine the memories of a willing target is the only ways I can think of that being amazingly good is that you can, see things that they've seen, but then a willing target would probably just tell you. I guess it's like a lie detector almost for people who are willing to let you have that access. Otherwise, it's maybe like we tried to use it last session with a lot of like social maneuvering to try and get it into activity, but it felt like it was a hard task to trick anybody into being willing.
I guess I was wary of making it a bit rapey, basically. Even at the mental equivalent of that, and it's like, it's all very well interrogating a prisoner, but it's some X card territory there, sort of thing.
I think mind reading is a relatively established thing to do. Yeah. I mean, not a thing that you do to your friends, but like mind control is perhaps a step beyond, But mind reading,
that I think is the difference.
Yeah,
but I think, I'm interpreting what Blake's saying there is that he probably doesn't want the character to run around saying, I'll read that person's mind, I'll read that person's mind, I'll read that person's mind. You've got to really stop sort of...
I would say maybe it's like examine the memories of a target you are in conversation with. You know what I mean? Like you have to build like some sort of...
bridge. Yeah.
Bridge. And then maybe it could be like a charm roll to see how you elicit those things out. You know what I'm saying? Like what we were trying to do before, but boiled down into just that's the fictional positioning you need.
I mean, did I'm just trying to remember, were we just able to do those playbook moves, or did we need to roll dice?
Playbook moves you don't have to roll for, but magic moves you do have to roll for.
Okay, so that's where the potential cost of doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because the chance of a 6 begins to rise, and then you hand narrative control to the GM again. So I don't think there's any problem with that, as long as there's, we know the risks.
Yeah, like in Monster of the Week, you can get a telepathy move, right? And you can do investigate a mystery or read a bad situation with it. And my players always want to use it for everything. And I'm like, no, it's specifically for you can read someone's mind if you roll decently. And if you don't, they probably know that you've got your mucky fingers in their head.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I liked the quest as well. Retrieving the talk and bringing it back. Don't know what that is, and I like the idea of the gods being angered with us. And this is perhaps our penance, even though we don't know it. Retrieving it. It'd be cool to have maybe like I like the Fomori, like the insects. Like as sort of like monstrous people, the monstrous humanoid race, effectively, sort of evil. And I liked rescuing people, and I liked being able to con them. That was fun.
Yeah, that was very good fun. and a starter will there with the palm, the real magic healing stone for this one I picked up earlier.
Well, I thought, what would John Constantine do? And John Constantine would be a shit. Yeah. But yeah, I would. It would be interesting to have like, like Hedge is kind of like the real life, like, supernatural agency, but and so it has like interest in, and the Nine and everybody else have interest in both worlds, right? But like antagonists that have interest in both worlds as well, like in an organized fashion,
Yeah. Well, there's kind of 2 Earth factions and 4 ones in the Gloom, but in a 2-shot, I'm not going to use all of them. I'm just going to use a couple, sort of thing, and just And none of them are really good guys or bad guys.
Oh no.
That's what I was going to say. That Hedge may not be the good guys.
No.
And I'm pretty convinced that the Nine aren't.
Well, in this game, they're called Oak. Is Hedge from another game or series or something?
No, I thought they were Hedge. Sorry. Oak.
No, it's Oak.
We've been calling them Hedge the whole way through. I forgot and called them Hedge.
That's all right.
Yeah, I've actually written Oak on my character sheet, but I was drawn into Hedge.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just really confused.
I thought that was just role playing, Paul.
Oh yeah.
So did I.
You need to tidy up your room, Paul. I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah, it looks just like that behind this green screen.
Oh, that's low, Alan. That's low. So what is the other human faction?
Glazer. They were set up by Catherine the Great.
Okay.
They're the Ruskies. They're really good at finding stuff, whether other people want them to be found or not.
The reincarnation move.
Yep.
So does that mean that you cannot die in the game?
No, it's just that when you die, you get to do something.
Right. Well,
before you're out of the fiction.
Okay, then you actually might be better describing it as a death move, because that makes it clear. Because when I saw reincarnation move, I was thinking, well, I could take a risk here because it looks like dying is good because I get to do this thing and then I'm back.
Yeah, in a different form or whatever,
Or
right?
whatever.
But you're back, yeah. Yeah, now that I actually hadn't read the reincarnation move, I just saw reincarnation move and was like, oh, well, I'm sure it won't be great to die.
Yeah.
But like,
no, it, that leans into the setting because people in the Gloom believe in reincarnation. They're all reincarnated as animals or whatever. But yeah, you're not in the fiction after you're reincarnated. You could be a bird or whatever.
Yeah, I would put it. I agree that I think the death move is still more appropriate, but like perhaps one of the options could be, in your next incarnation, you will, you know what I mean? Like you will have some way, like the players will come across your next incarnation at some point.
Damn.
Like feed in that whole kind of like wheel of life kind of,
Yeah.
Because who's to say that time passes differently in the Gloom and in reality, right? So you could die in one and come back like 4 years older in the Gloom as like a wolf or something,
Yeah, and in this case, you could turn, like if Fungo died, reincarnated as a bird, Cole can turn into a bird and talk to him. Yeah, and they'll have some memories of it.
Pity Fungo didn't die then, isn't it, really?
Well, you guys seem to want to fight, so I threw that big Fomori against you.
No, I definitely did want to fight, yeah.
It's just be good if other people were good at it.
Yeah.
It's
I hit it. It's you who failed to catch me.
Alrighty. Alright, I'll end the